Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. If you remember in the last episode, we finished up Blighttown and killed the Chaos Witch Quelaag, and now it's time to get the hell out of here. So we are just going to make our way back out the same way we came in, taking the kind of backdoor shortcut to get down here. We're going to be leaving via the same path. So we're going to head back up this ramp and back over to this water wheel elevator thing. It looks like maybe it used to be a water wheel at some point, and then it was kind of repurposed into this elevator. I don't know. There's not really a whole lot of lore behind this actual mechanism here. At least not that I am aware of. Now, on our way up, we're going to stop and try and grab a couple of items, one of which will probably result in our death. So, first things first, we need to make our way up, I believe, one more ladder. Dodge the mosquito that's back there throwing crap at us. Use the incorrect attack on the crag spider. That's very important. Now, from here... I'll just die. There we are. Just trying our best not to get poisoned. And we're going to make our way out and across this tree branch or tree root. There you saw a dart fly past us. We want to make sure we don't get hit with those if at all possible. Get over here and kill this spider. Extra swing just to make myself feel better. And there will be a set of armor, a spell, and I think that's about it over here. There's no reason to come up the ladder. At least not that I can remember. Yes. Actually, no reason to come up the ladder, aside from killing those enemies to get a few more souls. Which, if we don't die, will be useful. If we do die, then there really was no point to doing so. So we're going to head back down the set of ladders here. And then simply walk over to this body that's laying on the ground. And this will give us the Crimson Set, the 10 Banishment Catalyst, and the Sorcery Remedy. So, I believe we are relatively safe in this location. So the Crimson Set is a light armor set that offers pretty decent physical resistance, especially versus what we have now, as well as decent magical resistances. The main difference is, as you can see, it does not offer as much bleed or poison resistance as the black leather armor. Also, we picked up the 10 Banishment Catalyst, which is yet another catalyst that you can use for sorceries, as well as picking up the Sorcery Remedy, which allows you to, I believe, get rid of status ailments. Speaking of status ailments, there's the darts again, so we're going to make our way back across this tree log, hopefully without falling. Oh, God. Now, what I want to do is wait for this buildup to stop. This toxin poison buildup. Oh, well, I've been toxified. Alright. Well, now that we've already been toxified, we may as well make a break towards the item. Because I do not believe that I have anything that will actually allow me to get rid of toxin buildup. I do not have blooming purple moss clumps. No, I do not. Also, you want to be very careful when actually toggling into your menu like that while you're toxified. Because as you see, that chips away your health very, very quickly. So, I've pretty much resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to die here. So, I'm going to make sure we get a hold of the item. So you can see there's more of those dart-blowing guys. But up here, there's a Soul of a Proud Knight. And then down below, if we cannot get killed immediately, is a Firekeeper Soul. So we have the item from the area. Now we will respawn at the bonfire, and we'll have to make our way actually out of Blighttown. However, the Firekeeper Soul, as you already know, very important. So good thing to grab on your way out of there. Also, if you can manage to get up there without getting toxified, you can kill the dart blowers, and they will not respawn. So if you have the time and the inclination, you can actually take all of those guys out and get the item and get out of there safely. But I do not have the time nor the inclination right now to do so. So now we're just going to get the hell out of Blighttown. Well, if this guy doesn't murder me. There. Had me pinned up against the wooden rubble there. So once again, we're going to head up the elevator. We're going to head up the set of ladders back out of Blighttown and make our way back to Firelink Shrine. And once there, we're going to make our way to a merchant, because there are a few items that I need to buy before we move on into the next couple of areas of the game. And we will not have accessibility to those items once we get to those areas, so I need to grab them before we actually get there, because coming back from those places can be a bit tricky. So we're just going to make our way up and out as quickly as possible, ignoring most of the enemies. Specifically because I want to outrun those blasted mosquitoes. Right here we will find another ladder. You should recognize all of this from the last episode. This is literally the exact path that we took to get down here. So conceivably you could stop and grab that Firekeeper Soul on your way down. I know there are some players who, using the Master Key, come down here and get it as one of the first things they do. That's not necessarily a bad idea, especially that early in the game, because you can just run down here, get it, you get killed, so what, you're back at Firelink and you have no need to be down here again. But at this point, the way that we've been going, it was actually in our best interest to grab it on our way out so that we would respawn in Blighttown. That way we don't have to make the run all the way back down here. So as you can see, we're heading back into the hallway with the giant guys with the clubs. Don't know what these guys are actually called. Still haven't bothered to look it up. Oh boy. Alright, so let's test out our newly found ability here, the Great Chaos Fireball. If I can get in a position where I can somewhat safely use it. Now, as you'll notice with the Great Chaos Fireball, it does damage, but then it does more damage after the fact. It leaves a spread of lava on the ground. Really, really good for crowd control when you're getting rushed by multiple enemies. Also does a pretty decent amount of damage just on its own. Unfortunately, you only get 4 casts with it, so you do need to be a little bit judicious about your usage of it, which I am not being because I hate these guys and I want them to die as quickly as possible. You see right there, it actually did the full amount of damage to both of them. So now I can start flinging fireballs at them. Oh boy. I ate one hit right there, but it could be worse. Let's just back away from this guy and burn him down. The other thing is, the reason I'm using the fireballs here on my way out specifically is because those are pretty much the last enemies between us and Firelink Shrine. And when we get back to Firelink Shrine, there may be a new surprise waiting for us. So we're just going to make our way out of the Blighttown area and back into Valley of the Drakes. And we're going to make a quick run from here back through the edge of New Londo Ruins and up to Firelink Shrine. Or we're going to slip and fall off the cliff. Holy crap. And as you can see, I went ahead and made the run back up here off camera so you guys wouldn't have to endure that again. Still can't believe I managed to walk off the cliffside. But hey, what are you going to do? Everybody makes mistakes. So, now we have made our way back through Valley of the Drakes, back into New Londo Ruins, back immediately out of New Londo Ruins. As soon as I can... Whoops. It's been a while since I've actually been down here. As I said, I record these in sessions, and the last one, or the last time I played this game that I actually was down here was over a week ago, so a little trouble remembering which staircase it was off of. But as you'll see, we're actually going to be coming back up to Firelink Shrine, and as I said earlier as well, there will be a surprise when we get here. So we're going to come up, actually a couple surprises really, and as you see, Lautrec is now gone, the Firekeeper is gone, and there is a set of items over here. The Dingy set, this is what the Firekeeper was wearing. The Black Eye Orb. And you can see that she is obviously dead. So, let's take a look at what we got real quick. First of all, the Dingy set. Where is the Dingy set? There we are. As you can see, it doesn't offer as much poison resistance as the other, but now that we're out of Blighttown, that's not a big deal. It does offer better bleed resistance and curse resistance, and you know, it's fairly comparable, if not slightly better in the matter of physical defense. Me, personally, I like the Dingy robe as a chest piece, especially with the Thief mask. I think that it looks good together, so that's probably what we're going to be rocking for most of the game. And since the Firekeeper is dead, then what we will find when we make our way up top here is that the Firelink Bonfire cannot be lit. What we're also going to find is what happens when you ring both bells of awakening. This is Kingseeker Frampt. Let's go ahead and have a conversation with him right now.
Hello. Was it you who rang the Bell of Awakening? I am the primordial serpent, Kingseeker Frampt, close friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead, who has rung the Bell of Awakening. I wish to elucidate your fate. Do you seek such enlightenment? Very well. Then I am pleased to share. Chosen undead, your fate is to succeed the great Lord Gwyn, so that you may link the fire, cast away the dark, and undo the curse of the undead. To this end, you must visit Anor Londo and acquire the Lord Vessel.
Okay, and Frampt has actually told us what we need to do next. Now, one thing about Dark Souls, there are a couple of different endings, and those endings are based specifically off your choice at the end of the game. They have nothing to do with whether you talk to him or the other character who kind of affects your path towards the ending. Doesn't matter which one you talk to, you can get either ending either way. It's been a misconception that I've seen and heard from various people. Also, there is, without, oh wow, wrong button. Without spoiling anything, there is a, basically Kingseeker Frampt has a polar opposite character that pushes you towards the other ending. That character is also leader of a covenant. By talking to Frampt this first time and figuring out where you need to go, that does not affect your ability to join that covenant, as I will show you later on, because I will actually be joining that particular covenant. What it does, basically all that it does is it gives you direction that you need to go to Anor Londo, and you know that the gate at the Parish opened if you watch the cutscene. So that is where we're going to be headed next. Now, veteran players may wonder, well, if you're headed there, why are you... Actually, anybody who's watching this, you said Undead Parish, why are you in the waterway? Because I need to buy a few items from this merchant before we leave. Most particularly, as soon as I can find them... Oh, over here. Most particularly, poison arrows. 26 of them should do the job fairly nicely. And also, I need just some basic wooden arrows. 18 of those should do nicely as well. So we will, once we get where we need them, we will start doing a little bit of ranged combat so you can see how the bows actually work. If you are doing a lightly armored character, I highly recommend doing it this way. If you're doing a heavily armored character with lots of poise and whatnot, it's not near as necessary. There's other ways to get through. But I highly, highly recommend getting a bow, getting some arrows, and getting some poison arrows for an area that you'll probably see in a couple of episodes. A couple episodes from now, that is. Also, I just realized how much of a risk I took by going up there when I haven't rested since the Blighttown bonfire. Whoops. So what we're actually going to want to do is make our way back through Firelink Shrine, back up the elevator to the Parish. And then once we get to the Parish... Thinking primarily about how to split these episodes up, because I can either cut this one off when we get to the bonfire, but that'll make for a very, very short episode, or I can start making our way into the next area. And I think we're going to go ahead and start making our way into the next area, and we're just going to run with this until we get at least to the resting point there. Although it is a rather long area. Whoop, let's actually stop and kill these guys. Let's get the backstab off on him, and... I do believe we will stop at the Undead Parish bonfire. And let's take a quick look at our inventory. So there, the other item that we picked up, the Black Eye Orb. Invade world of Murderer of Firekeeper. This will allow us to bring back the Firekeeper's soul and bring her back to life. And as you can see in the description, it says the Black Eye keeps constant watch on the city of the gods, Anor Londo. Knowing that we're headed towards Anor Londo, that is actually very valuable information, because in Anor Londo is where we are going to find the Firekeeper's murderer. Also, let's check on our soul consumables. Don't really have much aside from the soul of a proud knight. So I think what we're going to do to finish this episode off, I'm going to rest again just to make sure that I did it, because I honestly can't remember what happened 30 seconds ago. I'm going to head down and attempt to take on the Titanite demon again, so we can get a little look at the fact that we have become stronger since the last time we came through here. And then we'll probably end the episode either with my death or with his death. Oh, judging from the start of the fight, looks like it might well be mine. Just want to make sure to dodge that jumping attack. And let's just get in and mess him up. Oh boy. He's still doing a fair amount of damage, but what we can do... This gives us another opportunity to test out the Great Chaos Fireball. Oh, get away. Get away from the attack. No. Bloody hell. Timing my fireball toss is all wrong. And cut down again. I think that's actually going to do it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to head towards Sen's Fortress. I'm going to take a few moments to collect myself before recording that. And once we get to the fortress, I'm going to see if we can't do this entire thing in one shot. So, as always, I have been your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and thank you for watching.